The universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want, you already are. Rumi. Chosen ones, before we dive deep, I want you to think about this powerful quote by Rumi. What does it mean to look inside ourselves for the answers, for the things we desire, for the reality we wish to create? This question is not for everyone. It's for you. You, who have been called to awaken, who have been given the rare gift of divine insight. This video is not for the average person scrolling through their feed, looking for quick answers to life's difficulties. No, this is for you, the chosen ones. Only those who know, deep within their spirit, that they were sent here for a purpose far beyond the mundane, can resonate with what I'm about to share. So if you feel that calling in your heart, the pull towards something greater, stay with me till the end. What I'm about to reveal has the power to reshape your understanding of the world, to unlock the divine power within you, and help you shift your reality. But let me warn you, this path isn't easy. It requires you to go beyond the surface, beyond the material, and delve into the depths of your soul. Only the true chosen ones will understand. Are you ready? Now let's begin. The power of thought. What it really means for the chosen ones. As a chosen one, you likely already feel that your thoughts and intentions have more weight than others. But do you truly grasp just how much power you hold within your mind? Ancient spiritual texts have told us for millennia that our thoughts shape reality. From the Bible to the Bhagavad Gita, from the words of Buddha to the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching, the message is clear. Your mind is a tool of creation. But here's where many people get lost. They think this concept is metaphorical, that it simply means thinking positive makes you feel better. No, what I'm telling you goes much deeper than that. You have the ability to literally shift reality. Let's break this down. Everything in this universe, every physical object, every emotion, every interaction is energy. Science has confirmed what mystics have been saying for centuries. At its most fundamental level, the universe is made of vibrations. Your thoughts are not some ethereal, intangible aspect of your being. They are waves of energy that ripple through the cosmos, creating and influencing the world around you. The chosen ones are different because your thoughts are magnified. You have been gifted with an elevated vibration, a spiritual frequency that gives your intentions even more power. But this gift comes with responsibility. What are you planting in your mental garden? Are you focusing on fear, on lack, on frustration? Or are you cultivating thoughts of love, abundance, and purpose? What you think, you become. What you believe, you create. The story of the prodigal son, a lesson in returning to your power. Now let me take you to one of the most well-known stories from the Bible, the parable of the prodigal son. Many of you may know this story, but let's explore it from a different angle. A man had 2 sons. The younger son asked for his share of the inheritance and left his father's house. He squandered all his wealth in reckless living, and soon found himself in a state of despair, feeding pigs just to survive. Finally, in his lowest moment, he decided to return home, humbled and ready to live as a servant in his father's house. But what happened when he returned? His father welcomed him with open arms, celebrating his return with a great feast. Most people interpret this story as one about forgiveness and redemption. And yes, that's part of it. But for the chosen ones, it's also a powerful reminder of the ability to return to your divine power. The son left his father's house. a metaphor for disconnecting from his higher self, from his divine source. He fell into the illusion of separation, thinking he could live independently, disconnected from his true spiritual nature. But even when he was at his lowest, he remembered who he truly was. He returned to his Father, symbolizing the return to his divine power, his true inheritance. And when he returned, he didn't come back as a beggar. He came back as the chosen one, welcomed with love, abundance, and grace. You too have wandered away at times. Perhaps you've lost touch with your divine essence, with the power you hold within you. But you must remember, you can always return. The moment you realign with your divine source, with the higher frequency of thought and intention, you step back into your inheritance. You step back into the reality-shifting power that is your birthright. Practical steps for harnessing the power of thought. Now that we've established the incredible potential you have, the question is, how can you start using this power effectively? Awareness of your thoughts. The first step is to become deeply aware of your thoughts. Most people go through life on autopilot, their minds filled with clutter and distractions. But as a chosen one, you must be vigilant. You cannot afford to let negative or limiting beliefs take root in your mind. Begin by observing your thoughts throughout the day. What are you focusing on? Are you empowering yourself? Or are you disempowering yourself with fear and doubt? Intentional thinking. Once you've gained awareness of your thoughts, the next step is to become intentional with them. This is where the real power lies. Intentional thinking means consciously choosing what you focus on. Remember, every thought is a seed. Start planting seeds that will lead to the reality you desire. This doesn't mean simply thinking positive thoughts for the sake of it, but aligning your thoughts with your true purpose, with love, abundance, and divine guidance. Visualization. Visualization is a tool used by all great spiritual masters. When you visualize something in your mind, you are creating a blueprint for the universe to follow. The clearer your vision, the more power it holds. Spend time each day visualizing the reality you want to create. Feel it, experience it in your mind as if it's already happened. This is how you shift energy and bring your intentions into form. In this first part, we've just scratched the surface of what it means to shift reality through the power of thought and intention. You, as a chosen one, have a heightened responsibility and a heightened ability to shape the world around you. Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll dive even deeper into the process of how you can begin shifting your reality by harnessing the full power of your spiritual essence. The journey has just begun. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Albert Einstein. Chosen ones, consider this powerful truth from one of the greatest minds to ever walk this earth. Imagination, the ability to see beyond the physical, to envision the life we desire, the reality we wish to create, is not a mere fantasy. It's a spiritual tool. As a chosen one, your imagination, combined with the power of intention, can move mountains. This is not poetic language. This is a spiritual fact. The reality you experience is a direct reflection of the intentions you set and the energy you focus. So let me ask you, what are you intending for your life? What seeds are you planting in the garden of your future? In this part of the video, we'll explore how the power of intention can be used by the chosen ones to shift reality in profound ways. What is intention? To understand the true power of intention, we must first clarify what it is. Intention is not merely a wish or a hope. It is a directed force. It's the spiritual equivalent of aiming a bow and releasing the arrow, knowing with absolute certainty that it will hit its target. The power of intention comes from the clarity and focus you bring to it. It's the conscious decision to bring something into being. For chosen ones, this power is amplified. Now, I'm sure you've heard phrases like, set your intentions, or manifest your desires. But how many people truly understand how this process works? Most people go through life setting weak intentions. They hope things will work out, or they throw half-hearted desires out into the universe without the conviction that they deserve it, or that it will come to pass. But as a chosen one, you must approach intention with a different mindset. The power of faith and certainty. One of the key ingredients that separates a weak intention from a powerful one is faith. When you set an intention, you must do so with unwavering faith that it will manifest. This isn't just about positive thinking. It's about a deep, spiritual knowing that your intention will come to pass because it aligns with your highest good and divine purpose. Faith is the fuel that powers intention. There's a story in the Bible that illustrates the power of faith combined with intention. The story of the woman with the issue of blood. For 12 long years, she had suffered from an ailment that no doctor could cure. She had spent all her money, tried every remedy, but nothing worked. But one day, she heard that Jesus was passing through her town, and in that moment, she set a powerful intention. If I can just touch the hem of his garment, I will be healed. Notice her certainty. She didn't say, I hope I will be healed, or maybe it will work. No, she declared it with unwavering faith. And what happened? She pushed through the crowd, reached out and touched his garment. In an instant, she was healed. Jesus felt the power go out from him and turned to her, saying, your faith has made you whole. This story is a profound lesson for the chosen ones. It wasn't the physical act of touching the garment that healed the woman. It was her faith, combined with the power of her intention. She believed with every fiber of her being that her healing was already hers, and because of that, she shifted her reality from one of sickness to one of wholeness. So ask yourself, when you set your intentions, do you believe with that kind of faith? Or do you let doubt creep in, weakening your resolve? As a chosen one, you must learn to set your intentions with the same level of faith and certainty that the woman in the story had. This is the kind of intention that moves mountains, that shifts reality, aligning intention with divine will. Here's where it gets even more powerful. The chosen ones are not just setting intentions based on personal desires. Your intentions are deeply intertwined with your spiritual mission, your divine purpose. When you align your intentions with the will of the divine, your power is magnified exponentially. You are no longer just one person trying to make something happen. You become a channel for divine energy to flow through you, creating the shifts you are meant to make in this world. But how do you know if your intentions are aligned with divine will? This requires introspection and deep connection to your higher self. It requires stillness, prayer, and meditation. The more you cultivate your relationship with the divine, the clearer your intentions will become. You will begin to feel what is right, what is aligned, and what is out of sync. When your intentions are in alignment, things will flow naturally. The universe will conspire to support you, bringing synchronicities, opportunities, and people into your life to help you manifest your vision. But be warned, Setting intentions that are out of alignment with your spiritual purpose can lead to frustration and resistance. The universe will give you signs when you're not on the right path. As a chosen one, it's your responsibility to tune in and listen. The story of Moses, an example of divine intention. Consider the story of Moses in the Old Testament. Moses was chosen by God to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, away from slavery and into freedom. But Moses didn't feel ready. He doubted himself. He questioned his ability, and he wasn't sure if he was the right person for the job. But once he accepted his divine mission, once he set the intention to follow the will of God, despite his fears and insecurities, miracles began to unfold. The Red Sea parted. Manna fell from heaven. Water sprang from a rock. Every intention Moses set, aligned with divine will, came to pass because it was supported by the divine. This is a crucial lesson for all chosen ones. When your intention is aligned with your spiritual purpose, the universe supports you in unimaginable ways. You don't have to force things to happen. They happen as a natural consequence of your alignment. Moses' story also teaches us something important about the responsibility of intention. As chosen ones, your intentions have a ripple effect, not just on your life, but on the lives of those around you. Moses wasn't just shifting his own reality, he was shifting the reality of an entire nation. Your intentions can shift the reality of your community, your family, and even the world. Never underestimate the far-reaching power of a single intention set by a chosen one. Practical steps for setting powerful intentions. Now that we've explored the deeper spiritual significance of intention, let's look at some practical steps you can take to harness this power in your life. Clarity. Be clear about what you want to manifest. Vague intentions lead to vague results. The more specific and focused your intention is, the more powerful it becomes. Faith. As we discussed earlier, you must have unwavering faith that your intention will manifest. Cultivate a mindset of certainty and trust in the process. Alignment with divine will. Before setting any intention, take time to reflect and meditate. Ask yourself if this intention aligns with your higher purpose. The more aligned your intentions are with the divine, the more effortlessly they will manifest. Action. Intention is not passive. You must take aligned action toward your goals. The universe will meet you halfway, but you have to move toward your vision. Moses didn't just pray for freedom. He took the steps to lead his people out of Egypt. Release. Once you've set your intention and taken action, release the need to control the outcome. Trust that the universe will bring about the best possible result, even if it doesn't look exactly as you imagined. Chosen ones, you are here to shift reality in profound ways. Your intentions are not mere thoughts. They are the blueprints for the world you are meant to create. With the right focus, faith, and alignment, there is nothing you cannot achieve. Everything you think you are, everything you believe you are capable of, is shaping your life as we speak. Your thoughts, as we discussed, are powerful. But there's another dimension we must explore if you truly wish to shift your reality, the realm of emotions and energy. Thoughts are only part of the equation. They are the seeds, yes, but emotions are the water and sunlight that cause those seeds to grow. If your emotions are not aligned with your thoughts, if the energy you are projecting does not match your intentions, you will struggle to manifest the reality you desire. In this part, we'll dive deep into how emotions and energy influence the process of creation, and how you, as a chosen one, can master this inner world to transform the outer world. Energy, the building block of reality. We often hear that everything is energy, but what does that really mean? At its core, it means that nothing is as solid or permanent as it appears. Science, particularly quantum physics, tells us that every atom, every molecule is in constant motion. Everything vibrates at a certain frequency, including your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical body. This is why it's so important to understand your own energetic state. As a chosen one, your energy is like a tuning fork. Whatever frequency you are vibrating at, you will attract more of into your life. If you're vibrating at the frequency of fear, anxiety, or lack, you will continue to attract circumstances that match those feelings. On the other hand, if you're vibrating at the frequency of love, abundance, and purpose, the universe will reflect those back to you. But how do you manage your energy? How do you shift your vibration to align with the reality you want to create? The answer lies in mastering your emotions, the power of emotion in creation. Emotions are powerful forces of creation. Think about the last time you were deeply moved by something, a beautiful piece of music, a touching moment in a film, or an experience in your life that brought you to tears. In that moment, your entire being was engaged. You felt alive, connected, and aligned with something greater than yourself. That's because emotions amplify energy. When you feel a powerful emotion, whether it's joy, gratitude, or even sadness, you are vibrating at a heightened frequency. Your emotions send out waves of energy that influence the reality around you. This is why it's so important to cultivate positive, high vibrational emotions if you want to shift your reality as a chosen one. It's not enough to simply think positive thoughts. You must feel them. When you set an intention, you need to back it up with the energy of belief, excitement, and trust. If your emotions contradict your intentions, if you feel fear, doubt, or impatience, you will block the flow of manifestation. The story of Job, a lesson in emotional resilience. There is a profound story in the Bible about the prophet Job. Job was a man of great faith and integrity, yet he faced unimaginable suffering. He lost his family, his wealth, and his health. In the midst of his trials, he was tested in every way possible. His friends and even his wife urged him to curse God and give up hope. Yet through all of this, Job remained steadfast in his faith. He did not allow his emotions to spiral into despair, even though his circumstances would have driven most people to their breaking point. Job's emotional resilience is a powerful lesson for the chosen ones. Despite his suffering, he refused to let fear or doubt consume him. He maintained his faith, his trust in the divine plan, and eventually he was restored. His health, wealth, and happiness returned tenfold. For the chosen ones, this story illustrates the importance of emotional mastery. Life will test you. Circumstances may not always align with your intentions immediately, and in those moments, it's easy to fall into fear or frustration. But you must stay rooted in your higher emotions, faith, trust, and gratitude, even when things seem difficult. Emotional alchemy, turning lower vibrations into higher ones. So how do you manage your emotions when life throws challenges at you? How do you shift from fear to faith, from doubt to trust? This is where the practice of emotional alchemy comes in. Alchemy, in its traditional sense, was the ancient practice of turning lead into gold. But emotional alchemy is the process of transforming lower vibrational emotions into higher vibrational ones. It's about taking the lead of fear, anger, or sadness and turning it into the gold of love, joy, and peace. Here are some practical steps to help you practice emotional alchemy. Awareness. The first step in emotional alchemy is to become aware of what you're feeling. Don't suppress or ignore your emotions. Acknowledge them without judgment. If you feel fear, anxiety, or frustration, take a moment to observe it. What is the source of this emotion? What thoughts or beliefs are feeding it? Acceptance. Once you've identified the emotion, accept it. Don't resist it or try to push it away. Emotions are energy in motion, and if you resist them, you only strengthen them. Accept that it's okay to feel what you're feeling, but know that you have the power to transform it. Shift the frequency. Now that you've accepted the emotion, it's time to shift its frequency. This can be done through several practices. How your emotions influence others. As a chosen one, you must also understand that your emotions don't just affect you. They affect everyone around you. Your emotional energy ripples out into the world, influencing the people you interact with and even the collective consciousness. When you cultivate high vibrational emotions like love, compassion, and joy, you raise the vibration of the people around you. You become a beacon of light in a world that desperately needs it. Think about the people in your life who radiate positivity. When you're around them, you feel uplifted, inspired, and energized. This is the kind of energy you are meant to bring into the world as a chosen one. Your emotional state is a gift to others, and the more you master it, the more you will help to shift not just your own reality, but the reality of those around you. Emotional mastery as a daily practice. Emotional mastery isn't something you achieve once and for all. It's a daily practice. Life will continue to challenge you, and emotions will continue to arise. But the more you practice emotional alchemy, the more skilled you will become at shifting your energy. Here are some daily practices to help you cultivate the emotional mastery. Chosen ones. Mastering your emotions is one of the most powerful things you can do to shift your reality. Your emotions are the key to unlocking the energy that will bring your intentions into form. By cultivating high vibrational emotions like love, gratitude, and joy, you become a magnet for the reality you desire. In the next part, we will explore how taking aligned action in the physical world, combined with your thoughts, intentions, and emotions, completes the process of shifting reality. Stay with me. There's so much more to uncover. Faith without works is dead. James 2:26. Chosen ones, consider this wisdom from the book of James. Faith, thoughts, intentions, emotions. All of these are powerful tools for shifting your reality. But there's one essential element that brings it all together: action. Without action, even the strongest faith will remain unrealized. As spiritual beings having a human experience, we are here to bring our divine insights into the material world, and that requires physical movement. It's not enough to think and feel your way into a new reality. You must also take concrete steps toward your vision. This is the part of the process where many people get stuck, especially the spiritually inclined. They often think that if they meditate, set intentions, and feel good, things will just magically appear. While spiritual practices are vital, action is the bridge between the spiritual and the physical. In this part, we'll explore how chosen ones can take aligned action to manifest their divine purpose and shift their reality. What is aligned action? Aligned action is more than just doing something for the sake of it. It's about taking steps that are in harmony with your intentions, your emotions, and your higher purpose. When your actions are aligned, they feel almost effortless. They flow naturally from the inspiration you receive from the divine. These are the kinds of actions that make time disappear, where you lose yourself in the flow of creation because you are so connected to your purpose. Think of aligned action as the final piece of a puzzle. You've set your intention, cultivated the right emotions, and now it's time to move in the direction of your vision. But here's the key. It's not about hustling or forcing things to happen. The universe doesn't respond to frantic, desperate energy. It responds to calm, confident, purposeful movement. When you take aligned action, you trust that each step you take is divinely guided and supported. The story of David and Goliath, aligned action in practice. Let's take a moment to look at a story that perfectly illustrates the power of aligned action. The story of David and Goliath. You've probably heard this story many times, but let's break it down in a way that relates to the chosen ones. David was a young shepherd boy, the youngest of his brothers. He was small, and by worldly standards, he didn't have the physical strength to take on the giant warrior Goliath. Yet when Goliath challenged the Israelites, David felt a deep sense of purpose within him. His intention was clear. He was going to take down the giant, not with brute force, but with the divine guidance that came from his connection to God. David's faith was unwavering, and his emotions were aligned with his intention. But what made the difference? He took action. He didn't just sit in the fields and pray for Goliath to be defeated. He didn't hope that someone else would step up and take care of the problem. David took aligned action. He picked up his sling and a few smooth stones, walked straight toward the giant, and with one swift move, he defeated Goliath. David's victory wasn't a result of sheer willpower or physical strength. It was the result of aligned action, action that was fueled by faith, clear intention, and divine guidance. This is the lesson for the chosen ones. When your actions are aligned with your higher purpose, you can accomplish things that seem impossible to others. How to identify aligned action? So how do you know when you're taking aligned action rather than just busy work? Here are some signs to help you recognize when your actions are in alignment with your divine path. Inspiration. Aligned action often comes from a place of inspiration rather than obligation. When you feel inspired to move in a certain direction, it's a sign that you are in tune with your higher self. Pay attention to the ideas and insights that come to you during meditation, prayer, or moments of stillness. These are often messages from the divine guiding you toward the right action. Flow. When you're taking aligned action, things tend to flow smoothly. That doesn't mean you won't encounter challenges, but there's an overall sense of ease. You're not forcing things to happen. You're allowing them to unfold naturally as you take steps toward your vision. Inner peace. Aligned action brings a sense of inner peace. Even if the path ahead is uncertain, you feel calm and grounded because you trust that you are on the right path. There's no rush or anxiety, just a deep knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. Synchronicities. When you're in alignment, you'll start to notice synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that confirm you're on the right track. Maybe you meet someone who has exactly the resources you need for your project, or an opportunity presents itself out of the blue. These are signs from the universe that you are aligned with your purpose. Taking the first step, overcoming fear. One of the biggest obstacles to taking aligned action is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But as a chosen one, you are called to rise above these fears. Remember the story of David and Goliath. David could have let fear paralyze him, but he didn't. He stepped forward, knowing that his actions were guided by a higher power. Fear is often a sign that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, and that's where growth happens. But it's important to distinguish between fear that comes from stepping into your purpose and fear that comes from misalignment. When you're taking aligned action, the fear will feel more like excitement, a nervous anticipation of something great. When you're out of alignment, the fear will feel like dread or resistance. The key to overcoming fear is to focus on the next step. Don't worry about the entire journey or how everything will unfold. Just focus on the next aligned action you need to take. Trust that each step will reveal the next, and the path will become clearer as you move forward. The law of action in the manifestation process. In the process of shifting reality, action is the final stage that brings your intentions into physical form. Think of it like this. Your thoughts are the blueprint, your emotions are the energy that fuels the process, and your actions are the builders that bring the structure into being. Without action, the blueprint remains just an idea. Set a clear intention. As we discussed in earlier parts, the first step is setting a clear, focused intention. What do you want to manifest? Be specific and make sure your intention aligns with your higher purpose. Align your emotions. Once your intention is set, you need to align your emotions with that intention. Feel the excitement, gratitude, and love that comes from knowing that your intention is already manifesting. Visualize it, experience it in your mind and heart. Take aligned action. Now, it's time to take action. Ask yourself, what is one small step I can take today that will move me toward my goal? It doesn't have to be a massive leap, just a small, purposeful action. When you take that step, you'll gain clarity on the next one. Trust the process. Finally, trust that the universe is working with you. When you take aligned action, you set the wheels of manifestation in motion. Keep moving forward, even when you don't see immediate results. Trust that the universe is orchestrating things behind the scenes. The example of the butterfly effect. There's a concept known as the butterfly effect, which comes from chaos theory. It suggests that small actions can have a profound impact on seemingly unrelated events. The idea is that a butterfly flapping its wings in one part of the world can set off a chain of events that leads to a tornado on the other side of the world. For the chosen ones, this concept is a powerful reminder that even your smallest actions can create massive shifts in your reality. Every step you take, no matter how small, sends ripples of energy through the universe. These ripples attract people, opportunities, and resources that align with your vision. This is why it's so important to stay in action, even when it feels like progress is slow. You never know which small action will lead to a major breakthrough. Keep taking steps, keep moving forward, and trust that every action you take is creating the reality you desire. Practical steps for taking aligned action. Here are some practical ways to start taking aligned action in your life. Create a daily action plan. Every morning, write down 1 or 2 actions that align with your intentions. These actions should be small, manageable steps that move you toward your larger goal. Focus on quality, not quantity. Stay open to guidance. Be open to divine guidance as you take action. Sometimes the path will shift, and that's okay. Trust your intuition and adjust your actions accordingly. Celebrate progress. As you take action, celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Acknowledge each step as a victory and a sign that you are moving closer to your vision. Practice patience. Aligned action doesn't always yield immediate results. Be patient and trust the timing of the universe. Keep moving forward and know that the results will come when the time is right. Chosen ones, you are here to take action, to manifest your divine purpose in this world. Your thoughts, intentions, and emotions are powerful, but it's your aligned actions that bring them into physical form. The universe is waiting to support you. Take the first step. Patience is not the ability to wait, but the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting. Joyce Meyer. Chosen ones, as we come to the final part of this journey, I want you to reflect on this powerful truth. You've learned how to harness the power of thought, emotion, intention, and action to shift your reality. But there's one last vital piece of the puzzle: the art of surrender. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the need to control every detail and trusting that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, knows the perfect timing for your manifestations. This part of the process can be the hardest because it requires letting go of your expectations and allowing divine timing to work. But when you learn to trust, when you learn to release your grip on how things should unfold, you open the door to miracles. The illusion of control. Let's begin by addressing a common misconception: control. As humans, we are often conditioned to believe that we must control every aspect of our lives to succeed. We are told to set goals, make plans, and push through obstacles with sheer willpower. While discipline and focus are important, the need for control can become a block on your spiritual path, especially for chosen ones. Here's the truth: control is an illusion. The more you try to control how and when things will happen, the more resistance you create. This resistance blocks the flow of divine energy and prevents your intentions from manifesting. The universe operates on its own schedule, and that schedule is perfect, even if it doesn't align with your personal timeline. Imagine planting a seed. After you plant it, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You water it, give it sunlight, and trust that in time it will sprout and bear fruit. The same is true for your intentions. Once you've planted the seed through your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you must allow it time to grow. Surrendering to divine timing is like trusting that the seed will bloom at the perfect moment. The story of Abraham. Trusting divine timing. There's a profound story in the Bible that illustrates the power of trusting in divine timing, the story of Abraham and Sarah. God promised Abraham that he would be the father of many nations, but years passed, and still they had no children. Sarah, in her impatience, convinced Abraham to have a child with her maidservant, Hagar. While this action did result in the birth of a son, Ishmael, it was not the fulfillment of God's promise. It wasn't until both Abraham and Sarah were very old, far past the age of having children, that God fulfilled his promise by giving them a son, Isaac. This story teaches the chosen ones a critical lesson. Divine promises are always fulfilled, but they happen in God's time, not ours. Had Abraham and Sarah waited with faith and trust, without trying to control the outcome, they would have experienced the fulfillment of the promise without the complications and challenges that arose from taking matters into their own hands. The lesson here is clear. Trust in divine timing. Your role is to do your part, set your intention, take aligned action, and then let go, trusting that the universe is orchestrating everything in perfect harmony. The law of detachment. The key to surrendering is practicing what is known as the law of detachment. This law states that to truly manifest your desires, you must detach from the outcome. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means releasing your emotional dependence on a specific result. When you're attached to an outcome, you create fear and anxiety around whether it will happen or not. This emotional attachment creates resistance, which blocks the flow of manifestation. The law of detachment allows you to maintain your intention while trusting that the universe will bring about the best possible outcome, even if it looks different from what you originally envisioned. As a chosen one, you must learn to hold your vision with an open hand, allowing the universe to take it and transform it into something even greater than you imagined. Focus on the present moment. When you're overly focused on the future, you create anxiety and impatience. Detachment means focusing on the present moment and trusting that the future is already being taken care of. Practice mindfulness to keep yourself grounded in the now. Trust the process. Remind yourself that the universe is always working in your favor. Even if things don't happen exactly as you planned, trust that everything is unfolding for your highest good. Repeat affirmations like, "I trust the divine timing of my life." Let go of the how. It's not your job to figure out how your intentions will manifest. Your job is to set the intention, take action, and trust that the universe will handle the details. When you stop obsessing over the how, you allow the universe to deliver in ways you never expected. Be open to surprises. The universe often delivers your desires in unexpected ways. Be open to receiving blessings in forms that you didn't anticipate. When you release your attachment to a specific outcome, you create space for the universe to surprise you with something even better. Divine timing, the art of patience. Patience is one of the greatest virtues a chosen one can cultivate. Divine timing is often slower than our human desire for instant gratification, but it is always perfect. When things take longer than expected, it's because the universe is aligning everything perfectly. Sometimes, the delay is there to prepare you for what's coming or to ensure that all the right pieces are in place. Think of divine timing like the seasons. You wouldn't expect flowers to bloom in winter or fruit to ripen before its time. The same is true for your manifestations. Everything happens in its season. Just because you don't see the results immediately doesn't mean that nothing is happening. Trust that your intentions are growing beneath the surface, and when the time is right, they will bloom. The story of Joseph. Patience in the midst of trials. Another powerful example from the Bible is the story of Joseph. Joseph had a dream that one day he would be a great leader and that his brothers would bow down to him. But before that dream was realized, Joseph went through years of trials and challenges. He was sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned for many years. Yet through it all, Joseph remained faithful. He trusted that despite the delays and hardships, God's plan for his life would be fulfilled. And eventually, it was. Joseph rose to power in Egypt and became second in command to Pharaoh, saving his family and many others from famine. His story teaches us the power of patience and trust in divine timing. Even when things seem to be going wrong, the universe is working behind the scenes to bring about the perfect outcome. Practical steps to trust in divine timing. So how do you cultivate the trust and patience needed to surrender to divine timing? Here are some practical steps. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful way to shift your energy and release attachment to outcomes. Every day, take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for right now. Gratitude raises your vibration and helps you stay aligned with the flow of divine timing. Surrender rituals. Create a daily or weekly ritual of surrender. This could be a prayer, meditation, or journaling practice where you consciously release control and place your trust in the universe. Speak words of surrender, such as, "I release the need to control and trust in divine timing." Look for signs. The universe is always communicating with you, offering signs that you are on the right path. Pay attention to synchronicities, dreams, and intuitive nudges that confirm you are aligned with divine timing. These signs will help reassure you that your desires are manifesting, even if you don't see the full picture yet. Celebrate small wins. Sometimes, progress happens in small, subtle ways. Celebrate every small victory, every step forward, as a sign that your intentions are manifesting. This will help you maintain faith and patience during the waiting period. The Chosen One's Journey to Manifestation. Chosen Ones, we've come full circle on this journey of shifting reality. You've learned that your thoughts and intentions hold immense power, that your emotions fuel the process of creation, that aligned action brings your vision into form, and that surrendering to divine timing allows the universe to deliver the highest good. But this journey is not linear. It's a continual cycle of setting intentions, aligning your emotions, taking action, and trusting the process. As you walk this path, you'll face challenges, delays, and moments of doubt. Yet these are all part of the divine plan to help you grow into your highest self. Remember, you are not just a passive observer of life. You are a creator, a chosen one with the ability to shape reality. Trust in the process, trust in divine timing, and trust in yourself. You are divinely supported every step of the way. As you move forward, take these final words with you. The universe is conspiring in your favor. Everything you desire, everything you are working toward, is already yours. All you have to do is believe, act, and trust. Chosen Ones, your journey to shifting reality has just begun. Keep walking in faith, keep taking aligned action, and surrender to the flow of divine timing. Miracles are on their way to you. Thanks for watching till the end. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, and let's continue to build a community of like-minded souls dedicated to spiritual growth and personal development. Stay blessed and continue shining your light. Until next time, thank you for being a part of Spirit Guide.